does have restaurant on December 2nd, and he had a great event with Michael Zolmanov, which is his friend, and I'm sure it was an amazing event, and a lot of people attended it. And I just want Adam to touch base with you about how it connects with.
Yeah, and first of all, the food was absolutely delicious. I mean, seriously, if you weren't there, you really missed out on it. So I'd like you to tell us a little bit about how you connect people with food. Okay, what's that connecting element there?
Thank you, Adam. Okay, food is something that is very, very, very easy to talk about. Everybody relates to food. Everybody mentions how his mother cooks, how his father cooks, which programs he likes to see on TV. So when you speak about food, it's easy. I find it the easy thing to speak about. Even if I don't know somebody, if I knew somebody new, if I meet someone, I usually ask him what he does, and when he hears I'm a chef, I ask him what does he like to eat, and that's it. We're off to speak about food. So, I mean, it's such an easy subject. People forget politics, people forget everything. They just ask you, what do you cook, how do you cook? My mother cooks that, oh, can you tell me how to do that? So it's such an easy thing to do.
And you were brought here by the consulate to do this together with Zahav, and I have a question for the consul about why did the consulate decide to do this? What is the connection between food and diplomacy?
Well, diplomacy and food have always been very much connected. When I just joined the ministry many years ago, the mentor of our course, the first things they told us is, in order to be a diplomat, you need strong feet, so that you can stand up for a long time, and a good stomach, which at that moment I didn't understand what he meant. Right. I have since. And the truth is that because of what Michael just said, the importance of food for in general for the human experience, we thought that it's very important that here people in Philadelphia will get to know Israel from another point of view. One that's very close to their own experience, and maybe it's something which they never thought on Israel on that aspect. And therefore, I hope they will be the first of a number of programs that will carry on in the future, in which we will bring Israel in different aspects of lifestyle fields. And I have the feeling that food would be quite prominent among those programs.
I agree, and it's a positive one. It's all the aspects that are positives. Not we're talking about politics, and it's always negative, and everybody has his own opinion, and there's always arguments. But food makes everybody gets together, and it's a positive thing.
I agree.
It's a delicious kind of diplomacy, which is probably the best. Since we are talking about food, and it is Hanukkah, and talking about Israel. In Israel, on Hanukkah, the traditional food is a sufganiyah, which is a kind of a jelly donut, which is not common here in the United States. It's not the Dunkin' Donuts style donut, but it's a kind of heavier donut, but it's really, really delicious. And this year they're going to try to reintroduce American-style donuts into Israel. It didn't work out too well last time. So, and you made some variations on latkes, on potato pancakes as part of your menu?
Actually, it was funny because the latkes, when we made the menu with Michael, I gave him a few options, and the idea was more contemporary Israeli food of today. And
I don't see a lot of latkes in Israel. I mean,
no,
I haven't seen a lot of latkes
and the contemporary Jewish cooking today with Israeli cooking, it's it's very developed today. There's a lot of influence from the States, from France, whatever. And then Michael comes back to me, Michael, we have to have latkes. We have to have a latkes. If we don't put a latkes, we won't work. I said, Michael, I trust you here, and we put in the latkes.
All different ways of eating latkes.
Right.
That was the condition, Michael. It won't work without the latkes.
Right, and it's...
latkes with applesauce, latkes with the sour cream, latkes with what?
No, we made latkes with the chicken liver.
Oh, interesting.
Latkes with chicken liver. Yeah. That's actually two of my favorite things together.
Right, so you have to thank Michael for that.
I will. I absolutely will.
Danny, what's your favorite dish for Hanukkah?
Well, if I make a confession, and as part of this continuous upgrading of Israeli kitchen and absorption of different traditions you mentioned that attempts to introduce American style sufganiyot, but the truth is that one of the sufganiyot had become more diverse, and the fillings are coming, it's not anymore the cranberry jelly indefinite thing that we had years ago. And my favorite stuff is sufganiyot filled with dulce de leche. With
the dulce de leche
yeah,
sufganiyot. That's a
What is
good
that?
one.
They're the best.
What is it?
how do we call it in English? It's a creme. It's a caramel Argentinian style, made of sugar and milk basically. And it's simply great. It tastes like very concentrated evaporated milk.
In Israel, you find them under the name of ribat chalav. So
Right.
now you actually always find the two, the
I
jelly
think-
ones and the ribat chalav.
I think in English you call it dulce de leche also.
Yeah,
You can get away with that in this country. And my favorite is the one just with the plain riba. For a while I dabbled in the chocolate-filled sufganiyot, and then
Batutim
But the
strawberry
very
ones?
cheap one, it has to be very cheap ribat because that's the best
Oh.
ones. I don't know why.
absolutely, you get them in the street in Israel. They're just all over the place. It's like sufganiyot season.
Before we go to the next song, do you know how many calories are in one sufganiya? Any clue? Or we should not talk about it?
I thought we were going to have a positive show here, so.
Okay, let's not touch that
That's
subject.
classified information.
So we're going to move on to our next track. This is from a release that came out this year from Uzi Navon V'Makarim, Uzi Navon and Acquaintances, and it's a song called Freedom.
That was good.